Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This presentation is intended to be an introduction to the Stoney Run Trail portion of the Patapsco Regional Greenway. My name is Aaron Smith. I'm with A. Morton Thomas & Associates. We are the primary consultant working for the Baltimore Metropolitan Council for this project. So this presentation is intended to be in support of the first community meeting, which is scheduled to occur on February 6th, 2024 at the Elkridge branch of the public library system. So this presentation is going to obviously introduce the project. We're going to talk about the community outreach portion, which is critical to the design process. We'll go through a more detailed review of the initial corridor and then talk about where we are and what the next steps will be. The project area extends from north to south from downtown Elkridge along Main Street to Stoney Run Road and the BWI airport, specifically a connection to the BWI trail system. On the north end, it connects to the pink alignment that's shown here on this graphic, and that is another section of the Patapsco Regional Greenway, which extends from downtown Elkridge to the Guinness Open Gate Brewery. So these trail segments are intended to connect at the intersection of Furnace Avenue and Main Street. As you can see, we have broken up the corridor into 5 different sections. This is just to make it easier to kind of walk through the corridor as well as discuss the different characteristics of each segment. So the north section of the proposed corridor, we're using roughly the dividing point between north and south to be the 295 crossing of the trail. And so again, on the north side, we're making a connection in downtown Elkridge along Main Street, again connecting to the other segment of the Patapsco Regional Greenway, which is currently under design, extending from Elkridge to the Guinness Open Gate Brewery. The alignment is, at least initially, and I should state that this is an initial corridor that we're presenting. We, as part of the design process that we're entering into, we're going to be looking at some alternatives. So the alignment may change somewhat as we work through this design process, but this is the initial corridor that we're studying. So working from north to south again through along Furnace Avenue, largely following the Furnace Avenue roadway, and then extending east to a connection point to the existing maintenance road, which runs through the Patapsco Valley State Park. And the intent here is to largely follow the maintenance road alignment and then transition back up to Ridge Road, which is where we would then cross over 295, again going south, following the Ridge Road right of way before hitting the roundabout at the intersection of Ridge Road and Corporate Center Drive, following Corporate Center Drive down to its intersection with Stoney Run Road, where it would make a turn to the east and extend towards BWI Airport and making a connection to the existing BWI trail system. We are looking at roughly a 12-month schedule for this project, and again, the deliverable at the end of this project is intended to be 30% design documents. And so we are just getting started again. We're in our data collection, site visit, community meeting process. So again, we're working towards that first community meeting with you on February 6th. And coming out of that meeting, we hope to have a lot of good feedback, at which point we're going to go into developing our different concept alignments, trying to understand what is most important to you and coming up with some different options. And we'll come back again to you this spring, roughly April timeframe, to discuss the different concept alignments that we've come up with. Coming out of that meeting, we intend to make with BMC again and all the information that we've gathered and the different steering committee members, make a selection for the final alignment, at which point we would complete our field survey over the summer And then once we have our field survey information in hand, we can get into our more detailed preliminary design. And then again, we'll present that preliminary design to you in the fall before finally wrapping up with our 30% design documents. So again, a big part of this design process, this initial design process, is getting your feedback. We will have 3 community meetings, and as I kind of just outlined, and for each of those we will be advertising. We'll have physical mailings going out, as well as information posted on the internet, and at the actual community meetings, like the one scheduled for February 6th, we will have display boards, people there to kind of answer your questions, presentations, and the opportunity for survey. So we'll get into really a more detailed review of the initial corridor that we're studying. And as we go through this, we are looking for specific goals, so opportunities associated with this alignment, as well as challenges. And so we want to look for areas that we want to activate, we want to bring people to, or potentially areas we want to avoid. The obvious ones being, some of the environmental elements within the corridor, trying to preserve those streams and trees and things of that nature. And then looking for, we're connecting to the BWI trail system, but are there other key connection points that we want to make as part of this alignment? So again, working from north to south, the northern section is just under a mile, follows the Furnace Avenue right-of-way, works from that intersection with Main Street, extending to the south and east, and passing the historic furnace in. Some of the challenges we have here obviously is the available right-of-way width, the available width of the street. We have properties on either side, and primarily in the downtown Elkridge portion. And then as we move to the south, we transition to more of an open area, but we still are restricted somewhat by the utilities along the side of the road, some of the grades, and obviously the forested areas. So and then there are multiple stream crossings. So there are challenges through this section of the trail. So after we leave that section along Furnace Avenue, we transition to the maintenance road, the existing maintenance road that runs through the state park. This segment is a little over a mile, and we really want to, as best we can, preserve the natural setting through this section of the trail. We want the trail users to be able to experience that natural environment, so we want to reuse the existing road to the extent that we can. We do have, again, challenges with the topography, the grades, some of the streams that we're going to have to cross, and obviously being respectful of the railroad corridor that runs parallel to the trail through this area. So then we transition up to Ridge Road, and this is one of the shorter portions of the alignment. It's just about a half mile. The intent here, again, as part of the initial corridor, would be to follow the Ridge Road right-of-way and look for opportunities to connect to the new residential area, potentially the commercial properties. We do have to cross 295, so we are somewhat constrained by what we can do with that crossing. And then we have other road crossings that we have to contend with. But the intent here is really is to separate, and the intent really for the entire alignment is, if at all possible, we want to separate all the trail users, pedestrians, and cyclists from the vehicle traffic. So we will transition from Ridge Road to Corporate Center Drive at the cul-de-sac or the roundabout. And again, this segment is a little longer, roughly a mile, but is intended to, similar to Ridge Road, follow the roadway alignment. And again, we'll be looking for opportunities to separate this trail from the roadway. And we will have challenges crossing streams again, crossing some of the commercial entrances, but there'll be opportunities to hopefully connect to some future development through this section of the corridor, and really take advantage of whatever opportunities we can to generate interest and use in the trail. And then finally, the last segment, turning east at the intersection of Corporate Center Drive and Stoney Run Road, and following the roadway alignment up to its connection to the BWI trail system. And this section of the roadway is largely elevated, going over Stoney Run itself and the forested area. And so we do intend, at least at this point, again, to stay along the roadway alignment. There appears to be enough width there for us to be able to safely separate this trail from the vehicle traffic and have a seamless connection to the BWI trail system. So that is kind of a quick walkthrough of this initial corridor. Again, our next steps, we are in the process of collecting data. We are in the process of learning more about the corridor and meeting with you and getting your feedback, the community. And so we're going to take all of that information and again, hopefully see you on February 6th at our first community meeting. And our next steps beyond that will be to start looking at different alignments that we can study and potentially look at opportunities to improve on this initial corridor alignment. And with that, please ask us questions. Please come to the first community meeting. Again, there are opportunities to interact on the project online, and we look forward to talking to you. Thank you.